A couple things I want to get into here, and I also eventually want to the graphics. You saw how excellent they were with my posting of Greg still having spell check underneath. But we are about to have some graphics. I want to get like a PTI like rundown, kind of getting through the topics. But in the interim, I'll just let you know we're going to break down the Bears win, come from behind win. Nick Foles there. Matt Cruzen was drinking that in. He also told to take them money line, so that was a good call by Matt. BC Notre Dame. Both in action this Saturday. That's going to be fun. I want to go to Ty about the Gophers because Big Ten right around the corner, how the Gophers going to shape up this year, and we'll wrap it up with the Vikings in a big game against the Seahawks and the Falcons. I'm trying to tell you guys they're going to lose to Carolina. You can book it. Anyway, let's start with the Bears. Something happy. Matt, things weren't looking good early on, right? I think it was you, right? Who was telling me that someone took Tampa Bay first half, and then it was just a complete bad beat towards the end there. So you got to be feeling pretty good. How funny was it seeing Tom Brady holding up the 4 when he clearly made a terrible pass at the end of the game?
Old man Tom showing his age on that play there. Yeah, can't have that. And I just watched highlights. He would have got a first down. There's a guy underneath right at the sticks.
No idea what he was thinking because as that play was going in real time, I'm like, what is he doing? And I go, oh, wow, you literally pulled a J.R. Smith.
Yeah, there was a guy at the first down marker, a walking first down. Anyway, yes, quick 13-0 lead for the Bucs. Bears played a horrible first quarter and a half. But then they get in there at the under 2-minute warning and a 13-point lead. The game-changing play was Kyle Fuller knocking that ball loose. And, I mean, just think about it. Bucs have the ball. Let's say even if they don't score and it's 13-7, but, like, what if they get a field goal? What if they score and it's 16-7 at half or 20-7 at half? Completely different game than the Bears being up a point. They didn't show enough firepower on offense. They would have been able to come back from 10 or more. Some takeaways, though. Foles commanded the offense, and like he showed why he's in there. Yeah. Playing quarterback, like 50% of it is pre-snap. That's what makes guys so good. Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, all of them. They do all the work beforehand, and that's something just Trubisky was never capable of doing it. Now, he still missed a ton of throws. Darnell Mooney had a walk-in touchdown from 50. Yeah. Killed me on that prop. But he made the right throws when it mattered. Bucs defense, I mean, what do you guys think about the Bucs defense? They're legit, so I get it. It's not an easy team to score against, but what do you guys see?
I will say here that I went going into it. Speaking of bad beats, I thought the defense was going to play. All of a sudden, it's 27 points at half, and then I still end up cashing that under, which I accidentally had 2 units on, so I went even yesterday, 1 and 2. How about that? Ty, how did you see it? So I knew these defenses were going to play. I was really worried that there was going to be a pick 6 there towards the end there for Brady that would have pushed that total over. But as a Viking fan watching the Bears get a come from behind victory, how did you see that one last night?
Yeah, no, I thought like Matt was saying, the big turning point was after they went in, scored, got 7 points in, and were able to, which everyone thought was a 3-and-out, except myself. I was sitting and watching the game with Matt. I'm like, that's a fumble, and no one was saying anything. And then all of a sudden, I go, it's a booth review. Sure enough, they go in. Jimmy Graham makes the best catch of his life.
Oh, that was incredible.
Yeah, and I thought the Bears' defense, though, and pass coverage, they were very, very good. But the other thing is I think both teams don't have much discipline on defense. There's how many times where there's like there's that one play when it was 3rd and 30, and then Khalil Mack almost got a rough in the passer, moved the downs, or would have moved the sticks technically backwards, but it would have been 1st and 10. But anyways, I thought the biggest takeaway that I have is Bears defense is for real. Mm-hmm. I think they are for real.
Yeah, no, speaking of Khalil Mack, I mean, he completely dominated, which is what you pay him to do. Like, don't get me wrong, he gets held on every single play, but you still need him to do what he did last night and make game-changing, get in the back. I think he had 2 sacks. He had multiple other plays. There was the one sack, I know you've seen it, where he just throws Tristan Wirfs onto the ground after. I mean, that's a 330-pound man that he's just manhandling. So that was huge. And then special teams were much better too. The Bears were horrendous on special teams last week, like punts. They let a punt get blocked. We know their field goal kicking history. Yes. So, I mean, you got to have good special teams to win games like that. Overall, how do you guys see the Bears? They're now 4-1. They got a win against a better – what do you guys think? And I am anticipating your responses perhaps, so I'll have a response for you.
I've got them as the second best team in the North. I think maybe Ty disagrees, but as it stands, I think that's a come from behind win that gets Bears fans a little bit more ease behind their quarterback of Foles, and that's a huge win against probably a playoff team in Tampa Bay. I want to get your guys' thoughts on seeing kind of the dark side of Tom, where he's not getting to one act out against his teammates because that's not the Patriots' way. And he never had to run for his life because the Patriots always schemed up great blocking. So I thought it was fascinating seeing Tom Brady kind of like the dark side where the ego got to him, where he's yelling, he's mother bleeping guys on the sideline, do your job, wake the bleep up. And he just looked like, and then all of a sudden he doesn't even hold himself accountable when he forgets what down it is in the most crucial part of the game. So I thought it was funny kind of seeing Tom Brady, who broke off from Belichick, to be his own man. No, I was the reason for these Super Bowls. And then when it's not all, Super Bowl rings and running through the AFC East, you see Tom get a little edgy and cocky with his teammates.
Yeah, no, I think going off of Matt's initial question where I see the Bears is it really hurts for me to say this, but I think they're a little ahead of the Vikings.
So you're in agreement. Okay.
I do think they are the second best team, and here's why. I think their defense is far superior than Minnesota's. Minnesota's so depleted in the secondary. Linebacker core now, no Anthony Barr. Yeah, they have Todd Davis now. However, Kendricks is a little bit banged up, so who knows what's going to happen there. But I see the Vikings offense better than Chicago's offense, but Chicago's defense, the offensive line for the Minnesota Vikings is so hit or miss. I think when the Vikings get played both times against them, I think Khalil Mack's just going to have a field day. I think he's going to just be causing a lot of havoc in the backfield for Kirk.
Yeah, and speaking of O-line, the Bears' best left guard, James Daniels, tore his pec. He's out for the year. He's their best O-lineman, so that's a big loss.
Who do the Bears have next week?
Frankly, I don't even know off the top of my head.
I'll give you a chance to look here. I'll filibuster.
Yeah.
So the Bears they're got to be feeling good about that come from behind.
Yeah, so here, answer this question. Do you guys see them as losing in their first playoff game? They play at Carolina next week. Do you guys see them losing in their first playoff game? We know Green Bay is going to win the division. I'll concede that. They might win every game in the division.
I think the Bears have a defense to win a playoff game with a veteran guy who's not a superstar, but a veteran guy who can win playoff games. So I'll give them at least one game. I think they have – this is a guy who's got a Super Bowl Lombardi trophy lifted up. So I think the sky's the limit for this team. They've got their defense, and it's not like Nagy's getting worse with his offense. He finally made that gutsy call to bench Mitch.
I think if the Bears get the 5 seed in the NFC, they play NFC East. I think they for sure go and win there, and they play 2 games. However, if they get the 6 seed or the 7th seed for who knows what reason,
right?
I think then I might have a different opinion. But right now, it's looking like they'd be the 5 seed.
Let's shift.
That's probably how I see it too. I was gonna say is like so a lot of people are like they're 4-1. All their wins are from behind. They played terrible teams. What I'll say is they keep winning games and they haven't played their best yet. So like Dylan said, maybe the best is yet to come.
And I thought Ty brought up that interesting point too, is you always got to watch out for that new added playoff team in the NFL this year as well. Let's shift to college, Boston College. Can I get anyone with me? All right, we all cashed against North Carolina. I've got Matt with me. Fly Eagles fly. Hashtag get in. Ty, you're with us. Did I see you enthusiastically?
Yeah, I'm in it. And I would actually just bring back last week. I was in on BC first half, so that bank-in field goal.
Oh, man, yeah, Aaron Boumeri, baby. So I think it's Vegas disrespecting BC again. I love them in a dog spot. I think I hit them at +5. It opened at +6.5, went down to +5. It's back to +6.5. Sharps were on North Carolina. How'd that go? Sharps are back on Pittsburgh. So I think Pittsburgh, what worries me is bounce back for them, right? They just lost to NC State and maybe Boston College playing tough against, I think a little bit of a fraud top 15 team in North Carolina, but playing them tough. Are they going to regress? BC's at home. I'm still backing halfway, so plus 6.5. Notre Dame, I will say too, Matt, before we get your thoughts on the game, I punched them as well. I think that's a little bit of a disrespectful line. I think I got them at minus 21, so I ate that up. You got to be feeling confident for this game as they're 3-touchdown favorites.
Yeah, I do. First, back to BC. This is a very winnable game. I think every ACC game is winnable outside of maybe Clemson and Notre Dame. But
Yeah.
I'm not paying attention to rankings outside the top 15. Outside the top 15 teams, it's a total crapshoot. I don't know that there's any difference between 16 and 40. So all these, you got to rank all the teams. I don't know how good North Carolina is. BC played well. Jurkovec is only going to get better. That defense is only going to improve.
Do you think Jurkovic's going to be a pro? Because I'm watching this kid, and just the way he is shedding blockers, he's like Roethlisberger, and then I'm seeing an arm I've never seen, but that's because, we're trotting out guys like Chris Crane during my Boston College tenure fandom.
Yeah, I mean, he's for sure got all the physical tools, 6'5", 230. And what does he have, 3 years of eligibility, I think?
Oh, I'm so excited, yeah.
Yeah, a pro guy for sure. I mean, probably not.
He's not going to be a top guy, but I'd like to see him in the top 3-5 conversation, and maybe a late round guy, a Josh Allen type.
Yeah, for sure. And he's only, like you said, he never started before. He's basically he's like a redshirt freshman, basically.
Right.
Notre Dame, one thing to watch, they haven't played in 3 weeks. And a lot of guys on the team were affected by COVID. Like their conditioning was affected. Like, and Kelly was saying, guys who would normally play 65, 70 snaps in a game are going to play 15 to 20 because that's all they're going to be able to do. So keep an eye on that. But at the same time, Florida State's terrible.
Oh.
They almost lost to Jacksonville State. They got ran out of the gym, off the field by Miami, absolutely routed. So Notre Dame might start slow, but should win comfortably.
I think that's going to be a blowout. Ty, how do you see those games? And I want to get the Big Ten. I saw a promo for them, and it kind of got me excited. I think Fox is starting to pull them out because they're right around the corner near Halloween, right? Your Gophers shocked the world last year. Are they going to keep it going? What do you got there?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of hype with the Gophers, especially with Bateman coming back. I mean, he originally declared for the draft. Now he's going to come back and he's going to play. I think that's going to be huge because who knew what the wide receiving core was going to look like after losing Rashad Bateman. And then as we saw on Thursday Night Football yesterday, Tyler Dalsin with the Bucs. He was the big go-to guy for Brady. But so it's good that Rashad Bateman's back. Hopefully the offense can still move stuff. Also, the Vikings did lose Antoine Winfield Jr., who was rated – I think he was rated in the top 5 safeties in the entire league for the month of September. So that's going to be a big loss. It's just going to be interesting to see, though, how these teams are going to react and to having a longer offseason. Obviously, there was uncertainty if they were going to play or not. So the Big Ten is a very good conference, obviously. They got Ohio State. They got Michigan. There's a lot of stuff going on there. But hopefully Minnesota, like last year, can be relevant this year.
What are they ranked going in?
25th.
25th?
Yeah.
Matt, where are you at on PJ Fleck? Are you buying in?
Oh, row the boat, Sky Umago Gophers. I love PJ Fleck. He is elite. This team's going to be fun to watch. It's exciting. Ty pointed out the big losses from last year, but Rashad Bateman is arguably the best receiver in the country, first-round draft pick. You asked me about Jurkovec being an NFL quarterback. How about Tanner Morgan being an NFL quarterback? I actually think he is a 5th, 6th-round guy who's going to get a shot at some point. It's a lot of it's the system, RPOs, just putting the throws right in front of his face. And that's what a good college coach does. It's what Lincoln Riley does better than anybody else.
Except this.
But they're going to score. It'll be very fun. I heard on the coaches show, Fleck was pointing out, like, depth is going to matter more this year for college teams more than ever before. And, I mean, these guys have 80 to 90 guys on their roster, so there's just always 40 kids who never see the field for those first couple of years. But this year, rather than that, it's going to be like 60. You need 60, 70 guys to play. So it's he feels good about his depth at least, and it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that.
It's going to be a jam-packed Saturday before we get to a NFL Sunday. The game of the week, I thought this line was a little bit short. I know I've been questioning Miami a little bit all year. I think Clemson, who hasn't covered yet, I actually hit Clemson. I think they're going to blow them out. Maybe not blow them out, but I think it'll be a 3-score game. You guys seen that number how?
I'm the same way as you do, and I think Clemson's going to just absolutely blow out Miami. I think they have – I think Dabo will be able to get them up and going, and I think that they'll be able to cover that spread. It might not be pretty at times, but I think they're going to be able to get it done.
Yeah, I think I got that awkward minus 15 number on that one. But I remember it reminds me of when everyone got super hyped for Lincoln hosting game day when Ohio State came in. Oh, the Huskers. Oh, dear God, hide the children. It's 50-0. All right, so let's get into some more misery. The Falcons, I'm telling you, you people texting me every week. This is the week, Dylan. Falcons, I'm hammering them. Bounce back week. Stop it. There's no such thing. There's no such thing in Atlanta. The Falcons, my goodness. I'm not touching them. Again, I don't bet against my favorite teams, but if I did, I'd be Warren Buffett against the Falcons. Do you guys have any faith in Atlanta against Carolina? So that's a look-ahead game for you, Matt.
Mm-hmm. They got to win at some point. They're not going to go winless.
I hope. You know what? I heard the craziest thing the other day. Trevor Lawrence is a Georgia guy. He's a diehard Atlanta Falcons fan. What if they just go winless? Cut Matt Ryan or trade him, clean house with Dan Quinn. Arthur Blank goes and gets a guy that ruled Cartersville, Georgia. I mean, Arthur Blank is, one of the best owners in the game, but his franchise is terrible just because of Dan Quinn and Mike Smith, the guys we were trotting out there. But that would be crazy. Yeah, I mean, you say the Falcons, they got to win at some point, but what if they did get one of these top picks?
I have an idea for you. So this is one that everyone's saying they can win this one. That's what you need them to lose for Dan Quinn to get fired on a Monday. Is they need to lose the game that they should win. I
think it's been the last 3 weeks.
Right, exactly. But Packers, you can't defend that anyway. So I'll say that. Matt Ryan of the Bears, if you guys tank for Trevor.
I'd keep all my Falcons jerseys, but I would follow Matt Ryan. I would be not unlike LeBron fans following. Ship me up to Chicago. I'd be getting that Natty Ice jersey. So I'm excited. I don't know, because I do feel like Matt Ryan got robbed of his career a little bit. Julio Jones, that was a blessing trading up to get him. He's made his career. But, just always making the playoffs, having great offenses, and never having a defense to back them up. It's been tough. So I would like him maybe getting a Phillip Rivers kind of second chance. And look what Rivers is doing this year. Let's go to the Vikings here. Big game. So they finally get off the schneid. They beat out Houston, get Bill O'Brien fired. Now you've got, oh boy, the Seahawks in an afternoon game. So you're going to get some fresh eyes on that from America.
Sunday night.
Is that? Sorry, my mistake there. So even better, national audience. How do you feel going in? Seahawks might be one of the best teams in football.
Yeah, no, I agree. Seahawks might be one of the best teams in football for sure. And very, very nervous to see what Russell Wilson does to the Minnesota Vikings defense. I think he could be setting some passing yard records. However, if the Minnesota Vikings offense does what they did last game, it's going to be like a college scoring match. It could be up in the 40s. However, Pete Carroll, I know, has already been talking to the media about how his plan is to try to shut down Jay Jetta's 18, also known as Justin Jefferson. So teams have been overlooking him just because the first 2 games he was limited in snaps. But now the last 2 weeks he's gone for 100+, and he's really been a good deep threat for Kirk Cousins, for leaving a lot of double coverage on the Seahawks do. But I don't know. I don't have much faith right now in my Vikings defense, which makes it seem like it's going to be real tough for them to come out ahead. And I swear, Matt and I were talking last night, every single year, I feel like for the last 5 years, Minnesota plays Seattle on either a Monday night or Sunday night. They go into CenturyLink Stadium and just get blown out. And
so there's got to be a little bit of Kirk Cousins in a primetime game fears as well.
No, absolutely. There is some fears in that. However, in this time, I think Seattle's just a way better team at this
Yeah.
point in time. So this isn't one where it's like Minnesota fans and the organization are looking like, oh, we're going to go out there and steal one now. Yeah, if we steal one, great. That's going to be huge. It's going to be the second biggest win of his Vikings career behind the one in New Orleans last year. But I'm not sure if we have the defense right now to try to slow down Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett, and DK Metcalf.
All right, great question for you two, and I'll answer myself as well to get us out of here. Corbett's Corner on Friday. Hit subscribe. I'm Dylan Corbett, Matt Cruzen, of course, and Tyler Dalsin joining us. NFL Sunday thoughts to get us out of here. Who has a better chance of winning on Sunday, the Falcons or the Vikings? I'll go first. I've got the Vikings.
No, I have the Falcons, 100%. The Vikings are not going to win. I do think they can keep it close, possibly cover the number. The key for Vikings need to hold on to the ball the more that they have the offense on the field. So that includes Dalvin Cook running, and he's played as good as any running back.
He's been a beast.
I mean, he's unreal. And so that's the key for the Seahawks is to stop them. They don't play man-to-man, so we'll see if they get pressure on Kirk or not. Otherwise, Kirk can pick apart their cover three that they're famously known for. I still don't give the Vikings a chance. The one way they win, though, is if Dalvin goes off, which he's fully capable of doing.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with Matt. I think the Falcons have a better chance of beating the Carolina than the Vikings.
Trying to tell you guys.
In the Seahawks, however, trust me, I'm going to be rooting real hard for the Vikes, and hopefully me rooting here from Minneapolis can give the Vikes a little bit of willpower out in Seattle to get the job done.
That'll cover it. A jam-packed Corbett's Corner. We're trying to get this a little bit more long-form. Corbett's, we're doing a lot of visual stimuli, trying to get our bets out, quick short-form kind of video pods. Everything's made video, audio available, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Dylan Corbett on YouTube. We're trying to hit 80 by the end of Sunday. We're creeping up there. So we do appreciate it. Hit subscribe. This is Corbett's Corner on a Friday.